Only Murders in the Building Season 3. A Hollywood star poisoned on Broadway, then pushed down an elevator shaft. 2 murder attempts, 1 victim, and a bloody message that changes everything. Welcome, true crime enthusiasts. Today, we're unraveling every shocking twist in Only Murders in the Building Season 3. When Broadway and murder collide, our favorite podcast trio faces their deadliest case yet. The new case begins. 1 year after solving Bunny's murder, Charles Oliver and Mabel have reached new heights of podcast fame. Their Only Murders in the Building podcast has transformed from amateur sleuthing into a cultural phenomenon, with devoted fans following their every investigation. Oliver Putnam finally gets his long-awaited Broadway comeback, directing Death Rattle, a dark play about a dying infant that promises to be both commercially viable and critically respected. The show stars Hollywood celebrity Ben Glenroy, played by Paul Rudd, whose box office appeal has secured the financial backing despite his limited stage experience. The season opens with palpable backstage tension on opening night. Charles confronts Ben with a mysterious threat. "Stay away from her. I know what you did." This cryptic warning hangs in the air as the curtain rises. Ben steps into the spotlight, delivers his first line, and suddenly collapses on stage. Panic erupts as the production halts and medics rush in. The audience is left wondering if this dramatic collapse is part of the show or a real emergency. The twist: Ben doesn't actually die from this collapse, at least not yet. He mysteriously reappears at the after-party alive, though visibly shaken. The celebration quickly turns to horror when, later that night, Ben's body is discovered at the bottom of the Arconia's elevator shaft. This time, there's no coming back. The medical examiner confirms 2 separate murder attempts. First poisoning, then a fatal fall. But why would someone try to kill Ben twice, in 2 completely different ways? Broadway's dark underbelly. As our trio investigates, we're immersed in Broadway's cutthroat world where careers rise and fall on opening night reviews. Producer Donna and her son Cliff have invested everything in Death Rattle, seeing it as Cliff's ticket to Broadway legitimacy after years of struggling in his father's shadow. Their financial stake makes them demanding in Oliver's creative process, creating tension between commercial interests and artistic vision. Loretta Durkin, brilliantly portrayed by Meryl Streep, embodies Broadway's harsh realities. After decades as an understudy, watching others take the spotlight, Death Rattle represents her final chance at recognition. Her vulnerability makes her instantly sympathetic, especially to Oliver, who develops romantic feelings for her, further complicating the investigation when suspicion falls her way. Ben's resentful brother Dickie manages his career with a mixture of admiration and jealousy. Living in Ben's shadow has made him bitter, yet dependent on his brother's success. Their relationship exemplifies the complex family dynamics often found in entertainment, where business and personal relationships become dangerously entwined. Behind the glamour lies a web of motives. Ben wasn't well-liked, arrogant, difficult to work with, and constantly clashing with the cast and crew. He demanded script rewrites, belittled the stage crew, and repeatedly showed up late to rehearsals. His Hollywood entitlement clashed with Broadway's disciplined tradition, earning him enemies throughout the production. The investigation reveals Ben had been secretly taking acting lessons with Loretta, showing a hidden vulnerability and desire to prove himself as a serious actor. These private sessions revealed a different side to Ben. Insecure and eager for artistic legitimacy beyond his action movie fame. This revelation adds complexity to his character and expands the suspect pool to include those threatened by his potential growth. The double murder mystery. Through careful detective work, our podcasters discover Ben was poisoned before his stage collapse. Toxicology reports confirm a non-lethal dose of rat poison in his system, enough to cause dramatic symptoms without killing him. Someone wanted him temporarily out of the show, but who had the most to gain? The trio creates a detailed timeline of events, tracking Ben's movements from his morning routine through the fateful performance. As the investigation deepens, Charles deals with his complicated relationship with makeup artist Joy, whose access to theatrical chemicals makes her a person of interest. Oliver falls deeply for Loretta, complicating his objectivity when evidence points in her direction. His desire to protect her battles with his commitment to finding the truth. Mabel connects with documentarian Tobit, Jesse Williams, who's filming their podcast's success, providing a fresh perspective on their investigation methods. Investigative music sequence. The trio methodically examines each suspect's alibi for both murder attempts. The theater's complex backstage layout, with its warren of dressing rooms and hidden passages, provides ample opportunity for secrets. They discover the Arconia and the theater are connected through a rarely used underground passage, explaining how Ben's body was moved so quickly between locations after the first murder attempt failed. A breakthrough comes when they uncover financial irregularities in the show's books. Ben had discovered money being siphoned from the production, a significant amount that threatened the show's solvency. This revelation suggests Ben wasn't just murdered for personal reasons, but possibly to silence his discovery of embezzlement. The financial trail leads directly to the show's management, narrowing the suspect pool considerably. The first murder attempt revealed. After collecting evidence and tracing the source of the poison, all signs point to producer Donna DeMeo. According to what our trio uncovers, information later confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter, Donna poisoned Ben with rat poison before his opening night performance, slipping it into his pre-show ritual tea. Her motive? A powerful Broadway critic had attended the final dress rehearsal and told Donna he planned to publish a scathing review focusing specifically on the poor casting of Ben Glenroy. This review threatened not just the show, but specifically criticized Donna's son Cliff's producing judgment. In Broadway's insular world, such criticism could end Cliff's career before it truly began. Donna calculated that with Ben temporarily indisposed, his understudy would perform on opening night, potentially saving the show and her son's reputation. She believed the poison would only temporarily incapacitate Ben, a knockout dose rather than a lethal one. When Ben survived and returned to the after-party, she realized her plan had failed, creating a dangerous situation as Ben began piecing together what had happened to him. The fatal elevator push. Here's where the case takes its most shocking turn. Security footage places Donna at the theater when Ben was pushed down the elevator shaft at the Arconia. If not Donna, then who delivered the fatal push? The investigation focuses on the timeline of events and who had access to both the building and Ben during that critical window. The devastating truth emerges. It wasn't Donna who pushed Ben down the elevator shaft. It was Cliff himself, surveillance footage from a nearby building, and forensic evidence confirm his presence at the scene. When Ben survived the poisoning and pieced together what had happened, he confronted Cliff about his mother's actions. Ben threatened to go public with both the poisoning attempt and the financial irregularities. Cliff, seeing his career and freedom about to implode, panicked. In a moment of desperate self-preservation, he pushed Ben into the elevator shaft, completing what his mother had started. The ultimate tragic irony. A mother poisoned to save her son's career, and the son killed to protect his mother. The confrontation and confession. During the final confrontation orchestrated by our podcasters, Donna breaks down and confesses to both crimes, attempting to shield her son despite damning evidence. Her maternal instinct to protect Cliff overrides everything else. But our investigators have already uncovered the timeline discrepancies pointing to Cliff, including fingerprints and fiber evidence linking him to the crime scene. In a heartbreaking moment, both mother and son realize they can't protect each other anymore. The season culminates with both Donna and Cliff being arrested. Their Broadway dreams and freedom shattered along with Ben's life. The dual confession reveals how their desperate attempts to protect each other ultimately destroyed them both. The next mystery begins. Just when our trio believes the case is closed, celebrating at Oliver's opening night party for the revived production, darkness strikes again. Charles's longtime stunt double Saz Pataki is visiting his apartment when she's shot through the window. A bullet likely meant for Charles himself. In the season's final moments, we see Saz using her last strength to write a message in her own blood. What does it say? Who pulled the trigger? And was Charles the intended target all along? These questions hang in the air as the season ends, perfectly setting up the next investigation for our podcast trio. This shocking cliffhanger sets up Season 4's mystery while proving once again why Only Murders in the Building remains one of television's most ingeniously crafted whodunits, blending comedy, mystery, and genuine character development. Season 3 delivers Broadway glamour, family betrayal, and a perfect setup for what comes next. Did you spot the clues pointing to our mother-son killers? Drop your theories about Saz's bloody message below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until next time, remember that at the Arconia, death is just the beginning.